I'm John Jones and welcome to ST Global Newsform. Erika Kirk's unanimous appointments as CEO of Turning Point USA to the small Romanian community in Dublin, raising nearly €900,000 to preserve the historic Christ Church on Leeson Park. We have many stories to cover. Turning Point USA has entered a new chapter of leadership following the assassination of its co-founder, Charlie Kirk. On September 18th, the board unanimously elected his wife, Erika Kirk, as CEO and chair, fulfilling Charlie's own succession plan. The move signals both continuity and resolve as Erika steps toward carry her own husband's mission and strengthen one of America's most influential conservative movements.
The Turning Point board has unanimously elected Erika Kirk as the new CEO and chair of the board. The announcement was made on September 18th, fulfilling Charlie Kirk's wishes for his succession. Quote, Charlie Kirk prepared all of us for a moment like this one. He worked tirelessly to ensure Turning Point USA was built to survive even the greatest tests. And now it is our great pride to announce Erika Kirk as the new CEO and chair of the board for Turning Point USA, end quote, the board announced. The board members stated, quote, the attempt to destroy Charlie's work will become our chance to make it more powerful and enduring than ever before, end quote. Erika Kirk was raised in Scottsdale, Arizona. She has a degree in political science and international relations, a Juris Master's degree, and a doctorate in Christian leadership. Erika is also the founder of the non-profit organization Everyday Heroes Like You and hosts an inspirational podcast called Midweek Rise Up. She is the owner of the faith-based fashion brand Proclaim Streetwear. In her first public statement 2 days after Charlie Kirk's killing, Erika had vowed that her husband's mission would continue. Charlie Kirk co-founded Turning Point USA, one of the most influential conservative organizations in 2012, and campaigned for Donald Trump in all three of his presidential campaigns from 2016 to 2024. Kirk served as the CEO, chief fundraiser, and the public face of Turning Point USA from its founding to his assassination on September 10th. A public memorial service will be held on September 21st to honor Kirk's legacy.
Charlie Kirk reportedly told Bishop Joseph Brennan of Friends that he was this close to becoming a Catholic just days before his assassination. The bishop shared details of their private exchange with his brother, who published them in Angelus, the Los Angeles Archdiocese's new outlet. The account adds new weight to speculation about Kirk's faith and his intentions to join the Catholic Church.
According to a recently published article, Charlie Kirk reportedly told Bishop Joseph Brennan of the Diocese of Fresno, California, that he was quote-unquote this close to becoming a Catholic. The article appeared in Angelus, the news outlet of the Archdiocese of Los Angeles, and was written by Robert Brennan, Bishop Brennan's brother. The bishop met Kirk at a pro-life prayer breakfast in Visalia a little more than a week before the conservative commentator's assassination. Bishop Brennan later shared details of this encounter with his brother and gave him permission to publish them. During a brief private conversation, Kirk spoke about his Catholic wife and children and mentioned that he often attended Mass with them. He also praised his parish priest, saying, quote, I love my Catholic pastor, end quote. The most striking part of the exchange, however, was Kirk's remark that he was quote-unquote this close to entering the Catholic Church. Since his assassination on September 10th at an open-air event at Utah Valley University, speculation has circulated about Kirk's faith and his intentions to convert. Photos of him attending Mass at St. Bernadette Catholic Church in Scottsdale, Arizona have also surfaced online. This testimony from Bishop Brennan lends further weight to the belief that Charlie Kirk was seriously considering becoming a Catholic.
The long-standing miracle of Naples' patron saint has occurred once again. On Friday, during the feast of St. Januarius, Archbishop Pope Mimo Battaglia confirmed at 7:10 a.m. that the miracle has happened as the saint's blood liquefied. This phenomenon, documented since at least 1389, involves the dried dark blood of St. Januarius, martyr in 305 AD, housed in two glass ampoules within a reliquary at Naples Cathedral. The miracle is an invitation for the faithful to go beyond their reason and see through the eyes of faith.
All eyes turned to Naples today as the Catholic faithful awaited the recurring miracle for the glass vial with the red mass to liquefy. And like clockwork, it happened. During the mass celebrated by Naples Archbishop, His Excellency, the Most Reverend Monsignor Domencio Battaglia, the blood of Saint Januarius liquefied and bubbled up like clockwork at 10:07 a.m. The faithful beheld the miracle, and the white cloth was waved to indicate that the miracle had indeed taken place. After the Holy Mass, the Archbishop walked down the central nave and outside the cathedral to display the ampules containing the blood to the faithful and the city. At the beginning of the celebration, a heartfelt video message from the parish priest of the Holy Family Church in Gaza, Father Gabriel Romanelli, was delivered. Little is known about Saint Januarius. According to various hagiographers, he was born into a rich family in Naples. At the age of 20, he became the Bishop of Naples. Legend says that he and his colleagues were arrested by Emperor Diocletian during the Christian persecution. He ordered them to be thrown into wild bears in Flavian Amphitheater and Pozzuoli, but the beasts did not touch them. He was then beheaded upon the orders of the emperor in the year 305. The body of Saint Januarius was brought to Naples and interred in the Cathedral of Assumption of Mary, where his holy blood is kept to this day in a vial of glass. The first record of the miracle dates back to 1389. Traditionally, the liquefaction takes place 3 times a year. First, during his commemoration of the transfer of his remains to Naples, second on his liturgical feast, and the third on the anniversary of the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 1631, when his intercession was invoked and the city was spared from major catastrophe. The liquefaction can take anywhere between a few minutes to a few days. Sometimes it doesn't happen at all. In the late August of 2025, the blood of Saint Januarius miraculously liquefied outside his traditional feast days for the first time since 1389. This rare miracle occurred during Vespers of the 75th National Liturgical Week in Naples and was announced by Monsignor Vincenzo de Gregorio. Not everyone believes in the supernatural nature of this miracle. Many have posted various theories to challenge it, but 3 facts defy all their objections. A block of basalt at Pozzuoli, which bears traces of the blood of Saint Januarius, grows vividly red for a short time in May and September at the hour when the miracle of liquefaction takes place in Naples. In 1902, Professor Sperando passed a ray of light through the upper part of the vial during liquefaction, and the resultant beam yielded the distinctive lines of the spectrum of blood. The most remarkable of all is that the weight and volume changes significantly before and after liquefaction. The miracle is an invitation for the faithful to go beyond their reason and see through the eyes of faith. It is an opportunity to unite our feeble selves with the glory and might of Almighty God.
A new chapter is beginning for Shekinah News in Europe as the faith-based media ministry prepares to inaugurate its new studio in the heart of Wolverhampton, West Midlands. The official blessing ceremony will take place on Friday, 19 September at 5 p.m. at Corpus Christi Church, Wolverhampton, marking a major milestone in Shekinah's ongoing mission to share the message of faith and hope across Europe.
A significant new chapter is unfolding for Shekinah News in Europe as it inaugurates its brand new studio in the heart of Wolverhampton, West Midlands. The official blessing of the new Shekinah Europe studio will be held on Friday, 19 September at 5 p.m. at Corpus Christi Church, Wolverhampton, marking a significant milestone in the mission to proclaim hope and faith throughout Europe. The event will be jointly led by His Excellency Mar Joseph Schrambikel, Archbishop of Syro-Malabar Eparchy of Great Britain, and the Right Reverend Timothy Meneses, Auxiliary Bishop of the Archdiocese of Birmingham. Their presence underscores the ecumenical and unifying spirit that Shekinah News aims to foster through its work. Shekinah's journey in Europe is entering a new phase. This new development represents more than just a physical space. It is a center for creativity, evangelization, and fellowship where gospel will be shared with truth truth, love, and purpose. This new studio reflects Shekinah's growing presence and influence in the region and serves as a testament to its commitment to using media as a powerful tool for spiritual transformation.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has rejected conspiracy theories linking Mossad to the assassination of Christian activist Charlie Kirk, calling them outrageous and false. He praised Kirk as a once-in-a-century talent and steadfast supporter of Israel, recalling a recent letter of encouragement Kirk had sent him. Netanyahu accused Qatari interests of fueling the false narratives, dismissing claims that Israel had any roles in killing.
In a surprise address, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu denounced a wave of conspiracy theories linking Israel's intelligence service Mossad to the assassination of Christian activist Charlie Kirk, dismissing them as lies fueled by Qatari interests. In a social media post yesterday, Netanyahu said that certain forces have fabricated a monstrous lie suggesting his government's involvement in Kirk's murder, calling the claims outrageous and false. He described Kirk as a once-in-a-century talent who stood firmly for American values and the Judeo-Christian alliance. Netanyahu also recalled how Kirk, a strong supporter of Israel and the Jewish people, had sent him a letter of encouragement just weeks before his death, addressing speculations that Israel was displeased with some of Kirk's positions. Netanyahu stressed that criticism never troubled him, noting that Kirk himself was a champion of free speech. He condemned those spreading the conspiracy theories, accusing them of acting out of obsession with Qatari money and insinuating that Doha is behind the narrative. Kirk's violent death last week triggered a flood of baseless allegations online, with some Platform X users claiming that the shooting was a Mossad hit job. However, the FBI has confirmed that the suspected shooter, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, had links to radical groups such as Antifa, directly undermining claims of Israeli involvement.
The Democratic Republic of Congo faces its first Ebola outbreak in 3 years, with 48 confirmed and probable cases and 31 deaths reported. Declared in early September, the outbreak began in Kasai province and is now under close monitoring by the World Health Organization, which has launched vaccination campaigns and deployed medical supplies to contain the spread.
The World Health Organization (WHO) confirmed Thursday that Congo has recorded 48 Ebola cases and 31 deaths since it announced the outbreak earlier this month. The Health Ministry first raised the alert with 28 suspected cases and 15 deaths, and later verified the Zaire strain. Health authorities first noticed a suspicious case on August the 20th when they hospitalized a pregnant woman in Kasai province with Ebola-like symptoms. Reuters reported on September 4th that Congo declared 28 cases and 15 deaths at that time. WHO chief Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said vaccination has begun in Bulape, the epicenter of the outbreak, prioritizing frontline workers and close contacts of those affected. He said the agency deployed medical supplies, established a treatment center, and continues to monitor hundreds of people potentially exposed to the virus. The organization stated that over 14 tons of medical supplies, including mobile laboratory equipment, have been delivered to Kasai, where the 16 patients are receiving treatment in a new Ebola center. According to reports, doctors discharged 2 patients earlier this week after they recovered. Tedros noted that the rapid response and community awareness efforts are underway. While health officials stressed the outbreak remains confined, the CDC assessed and issued an advisory confirmed international risk as low.
Pope Leo XIV has appointed Polish prelate Miroslav Wachowski as a new apostolic nuncio to Iraq, elevating him to archbishop and assigning him the title or see of Alemannia. The announcement was made on September 18th by Archbishop Paul Richard Gallagher, the Vatican Secretary for the Relations with States. As nuncio, Archbishop Wojcicki will act as the Pope's diplomatic representative to Iraq, strengthening ties between the Holy See and the local church.
Pope Leo XIV appointed Miroslav Wojcicki on September 18 as the new apostolic nuncio to Iraq. He was also elevated to the rank of archbishop and assigned the titular see of Villa Magna in Italy. The appointment was announced by Archbishop Paul Richard Gallagher, Secretary for Relations with States. Miroslav Wojcicki was born in Poland in 1970. He was ordained a priest in 1996 in the Diocese of Elk. After obtaining a degree in canon law, he entered the diplomatic service of the Holy See in 2004. He has served in pontifical representations in Senegal, the permanent mission to the International Atomic Energy Agency, the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, the United Nations Office, and the Apostolic Nunciature in Poland. Since 2019, the Polish diplomat has been serving as Undersecretary for Relations with States. As Apostolic Nuncio, Archbishop Wojcicki will serve as the permanent diplomatic representative of the Holy See to Iraq, facilitating communication between the Pope and the local Catholic leadership. During the 2003 Iraq War, the Holy See was the only sovereign state to keep its ambassador in Iraq.
Pope Leo XIV received Filippo Grandi, United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, at the Vatican on Thursday. Grandi highlighted the Pope's strong commitment to the refugees and migrants, noting that growing global displacement now exceeds 120 million. The discussions covered global crises, breaches of humanitarian law, and neglected regions such as Sudan, Congo, and Myanmar.
Pope Leo XIV met Filippo Grandi, UN High Commissioner for Refugees, at the Vatican on Thursday. The audience focused on the global refugee crisis, humanitarian challenges, and the Church's ongoing support for displaced populations. Grandi noted that global displacement had doubled since he began his mandate, rising from 60 to 65 million to over 120 million people. He expressed appreciation for the Pope's engagement and advocacy, describing the meeting as encouraging for both institutional and grassroots collaboration. The conversation also addressed violations of international humanitarian law and their impact on civilians. Reflecting on global consequences, Filippo Grandi noted that patterns created by powerful countries could threaten the future of global human rights and international humanitarian law. The discussion highlighted regions such as Sudan, Congo, and Myanmar, where crises often go underreported. The High Commissioner highlighted the Church's role in these forgotten emergencies and thanked the Holy See for its partnership. Stressing Gaza's extreme humanitarian crisis, he stated that the Pope's focus on these issues is vital for tackling complex international crises. Vatican News noted that the meeting reinforced the strong cooperation between the UNHCR and the Holy See.
A small but determined Romanian community in Dublin has successfully secured the historic Christ Church in Leeson Park, preserving a vital part of Ireland's Christian heritage. After months of fundraising and a competitive bidding process, the Romanian Orthodox Diocese of Ireland and Iceland officially acquired the property from the Church of Ireland. With the support from the Romanian diaspora and a modest government contribution, the community raised about €900,000 to finalize the purchase.
A small but determined Romanian community in Dublin has successfully concluded its efforts to preserve Ireland's landmark Christian heritage with the official acquisition of the historic Christ Church in Leeson Park by the Romanian Orthodox Diocese of Ireland. The Romanian Orthodox Diocese of Ireland and Iceland, in collaboration with the parish of the Exaltation of the Holy Cross in Dublin, which has been at the forefront of the campaign to safeguard the church compound, announced on September 11th through its official GoFundMe page that it had succeeded in purchasing Christ Church and elevating it to the Episcopal Cathedral of the diocese. The property, which includes the church building, had long been under the ownership of the Church of Ireland and was placed on the market on February 1st, 2024. The announcement drew the attention of multiple bidders, leading to an intense competition for ownership. However, the Romanian Orthodox community, deeply committed to securing the church for liturgical and cultural purposes, persevered through the challenging bidding war with several competitors. Reverend Calin Floria, a priest of the Romanian Orthodox Church, spearheaded the fundraising campaign, initially setting a target of $4 million. Through generous donations from the Romanian diaspora across Europe, complemented by modest financial contribution from the Romanian government, church leaders reported that they were able to raise approximately 900,000 euros, an amount sufficient to finalize the acquisition and ensure the church's future within the Orthodox tradition. The historic milestone was crowned on September the 15th, 2024, when the Romanian Orthodox Diocese of Ireland and Iceland celebrated the consecration of the newly acquired Christ Church in Leeson Park. The ceremony, led by Metropolitan Joseph of Western and Southern Europe, marked the elevation of the church to the rank of Episcopal Cathedral.
That's all for today. Until we meet again, God bless and thank you.